Hey everyone, my name is the Godfather Dictator. Well, not really. First of all, let me tell you a little story about how I ended up with this name. And after this, you will also hear a short story of my life and how I ended up doing no damage run. So, first, let's start with why my name is the Godfather Dictator, and not to confuse with the Godfather Dictator. It's the Godfather in one word. First of all, I'm a big movie fan. I watch a lot of movie and a lot of series, and because of that, I decided to combine the name of two of my favorite movie. One being The Godfather, pretty obvious, but the other one being The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin. And because the movie was The Great Dictator, I thought instead of writing The Godfather Great Dictator, I would just put it short, Godfather Dictator, and then use later the TGD abbreviation for my name. So first of all, I will tell you how I started to play video game overall, because a lot of people, it's basically the same story. Mine is similar, well, up to a point, of course, because now today where I ended up doing no damage run, well, it takes more than a few hours of practice. It takes dedication, it takes patience. So I will tell you how I ended up doing that. First of all, I got introduced to video game by my father. At the time, he wanted me to play adventure game to make my brain work more, trying to figure out puzzle. And he didn't like me playing for fun because he thought it was a waste of time. And to be honest, I liked it at the time to play adventure game to figure out the puzzle, but it didn't influence me anyhow to, again, how I play today. And when I was around 12 years old, I was seeing one of my friend. I was going to his house in scooter because he was borrowing it to go see other people at the time. Yeah, I know it was weird, but I didn't mind because I knew his parent, since I was a kid. So I was getting along fine. And then he was leaving me with his Xbox, with Ninja Gaiden Black. And honestly, when I was playing that game when I was younger, I was sucking so bad, it wasn't even funny. If you would have told me that I would have done, all the stuff that I did, I would have said, are you crazy? This game is way too hard. So to leave it at that, I didn't get good at that time. So a couple of years later, one of my other friend needed money, so he sold me his Xbox for cheap. And first thought that came in my mind was like, go buy a copy of Ninja Gaiden Black. And actually I bought two copy in case one would break, because at the time I didn't know, but I did a good job because they don't make the game anymore. So if you can find the game, like, you should get a copy if you have an old Xbox. I know they do it on the Xbox 360, but it's not the same. I won't get into detail because that's another subject. So when I started to get serious at first on Ninja Gaiden Black, I was trying to go for Karma Run. And for those who don't know what Karma Run are, is basically where you try to go for a point. And why I was doing that is because it was the leaderboard concept of the game. It was going for a point would put you on the leaderboard. You didn't have a leaderboard for no damage or anything. But after basically realizing what I wanted to do with the Karma Run, and basically me, I wouldn't satisfy with the second position. I wanted to go first. But at that point, the guy that I was competing against on the forum of Iberian at the time, where basically all the best Ninja Gaiden player were there, well, I know it would take me too much time and a too big percentage of luck. I don't know if it makes any sense to you, but the higher you get to a level, it's not about at that point getting the UTs and all that crap. It's something else, because it's not just milking the point for fight. Again, it's getting the extra ultimate technique that the top player missed while doing the run. So just imagine how long it could take just to get certain fight right. So what I did is I started instead to play mission mode, and then I saw some no damage run on certain mission by other player. And me, well, I checked the mission that weren't done yet on Master Ninja. Of course, the score on the no damage and stuff were all on Master Ninja. The guy were not playing on normal mode. So I slowly started to do some mission mode, no damage, because I just like the concept of going flawless and not taking any hit. And after all this, I decided to check if there was someone who did a no damage run on story mode. And I see that a guy did it, but it wasn't complete, and he got hit on chapter 3 at Dynamo. And I knew that this guy was too old and he would never come back to Ninja Gaiden. So at this point I decided to try it myself, and it took me an hour of practice and dedication, but I did complete the run in the end. And after seeing like the final product, that's where I decided, hey, why not do it like at every game where it's possible to do that shit, you know, take that gaming to another level. So now to get back to my life story, because that's the reason I ended up doing no damage run on lots of games. This is what influenced me. So because of course something happened from me going to do adventure game to doing and Ninja Gaiden no damage, because it's totally different. Well, there's still some adventure and puzzle in Ninja Gaiden, but I didn't care about that. I was watching video, and again I was just trying me to be like better and better. And again, I realized that I was more into doing insanely challenging playthrough instead of worrying about the puzzle, which honestly got boring for me after doing this kind of performance. Not to be arrogant, but stating a fact for me that, again, I thought the puzzle were kind of useless now. It makes your brain work, but doing no damage makes your brain work in a totally different way. But my father didn't believe that I could make it by doing videos of video game, and that's not the main reason why I stopped talking to him, but it is one of the few reasons. So let's backtrack to when I was a kid. First of all, before I got into high school, I don't know what you call it in English, if it's a primary school, but anyway, the first school you go to, like not when you're a total like kid, but when you're like 6 or 7. Well, me, I was hyperactive, and I even needed to take Ritalin for 1 year at the time, because my father was like not violent really physically, but more mentally, in a way that it would make me feel bad about something. So it made me insecure at the time, and it was reflecting toward my behavior. And also it was a really hard period for me at the time, because I wasn't seeing my mom, who had 3 cancer, and I learned that like 1 year after like she made it through. But like because of how I was behaving at the time, they thought it would be best like to not have more stress to my life. But to be honest, if my mom had died and I didn't knew about it, it would have made things worse. And of course it didn't happen. But also my mom, to talk about my mom today, she still has some side effects of this, because damn, multiple cancer can fucked up a body, to be honest. But she fought through it and she vanquished cancer. And honestly, I will ask her to say a last word at the end of the video to tell you in a short version basically how she did that. And she never speak English, so if any one of you laugh about that, I will slap you to the screen. So after that, once I got into high school, my father's attitude somehow got better, you know, and I actually got some of my best summer doing dirt bike for like 2 months straight of vacation. My father even at the time bought dirt bike for my friend, and everything was good. I still have some really great memory with my dad. But again, now get to the reason why I stopped talking to my dad. It may sound weird, but like this is a story, and this is how it happened. When I was 15 years old, I had a girlfriend who was living in Ontario, okay? And I was living in Montreal, okay? And when you're that age, like, to be honest, your sexual hormone are like up the roof. So basically, I dumped her, not because I didn't like her, but because I didn't have a driver's license at the time. And again, at this age, long distance relationship tend not to work out. But soon after all this, again, this is a shorter version, I won't get into the detail, but my father started going out with my ex-girlfriend. And keep in mind that at the time, she was still 16, she was 1 year older than me. My father was over 45. Fucked up. I mean, you don't say. But this is not the moment where I really cut the bridge with my father. But even though it was extremely weird, I was smoking so much weed at the time that I was living in some kind of dream state, not realizing what was happening around me. Also, this is in direct link to why I dropped out of college, and not because of the weed. It's because above all the stuff that happened, at first I was enjoying the law itself, but not that much. But my father like kind of put in my head for me to be a lawyer. And again, I realized that I was doing it not for him, not for me, but for him. Sorry, the opposite. Exactly. I didn't want to do it for me. I wanted to do it for him, and I realized it was like not the way to go, and I didn't want to be miserable for the rest of my life at doing something that I didn't like, because a lot of people do that. So that's why like I really dropped college. It's not because I wasn't good in school. I was actually really good in school. I had good grade and all, but I was doing it for someone else. And again, I don't want to do that, to live a miserable life because I decided to do something for someone else. If I fail at what I do right now, well, it will be my own fault and not someone else's fault, you know? So after this, wait, let me try to concentrate here because I'm playing at the same time. So now to go back, why I stopped talking to my fathers is basically I tried dropping like from school because I wanted to do something else. I was still living at his house, but he didn't accept me leaving school, so I had to work for him for a while, and it wasn't really a choice. It was more for my cousin at the time because he had lost his driver license to a DUI. And at some point while I was working for him, we had an altercation. I won't get into detail, but it was pretty damn important due to the fact that it made me leave his house. And sometimes, like before, I had lost contact with my mom because she was in a hard relationship, and so was I in a way, you know, with all my father stuff happening. So this is like another good reason why it took me a while to get out of my dad's house and go live with my mom, because also my father, before he went out with my ex-girlfriend, he was spoiling me like all the time, and until he started going out with my ex-girlfriend, like he stopped the next day, you know. So it was really hard on me at first, getting used to being spoiled, and then the next day, yeah, nothing. So once I moved to my mom, I still worked for him for like a month or so. Then at some point he called me because it has been a couple of days that I didn't give any news for the job. And basically my father, when I was a kid, at some point when I was really angry because I've been on like in multiple fight with him before I actually left for good, but sometimes I was just leaving for a while, and he was always saying that he would never give up on me until I really tell him to, like, you know, get the fuck out of my life in a way. So when he called, he says, well, it seems you don't want to keep working. And of course this was all in French, by the way, I don't have to tell you, but I was like, no, and you know what, I'm done with you, and I don't care what you think about me. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and honestly I don't give a shit. Go live your life and have fun, and just leave me the fuck alone, basically. And me, that proves you that I was tired of the money shit, because every time I was trying to leave, it was trying to buy me with something else, you know, and it was keeping me there. So now, to get back to the present time with all that, like what is happening with me, well, last summer in 2014, it's been a while actually, I was in a hospital, but I was in a hospital for an episode, and I was diagnosed with light Crohn's disease, and right now I'm on medication, and the medication is pretty simple. It's something that kind of kill your immune system to try to fight the disease, and hopefully it will work because I have a positive attitude towards that, so I don't want any pity. But to add cherry on the cake, also a couple of months after I got that diagnosis, my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer, and I don't speak too loud because she can be in the next room and I don't want her to hear about that. And won't get into detail, but it's really hard to deal sometimes with someone who has Alzheimer, and like through all that I still have to help my mom, support her, because my mom is still not like in ultra shape. Of course she's better and all, but again, she had cancer, and like she can't do that shit alone, you know. So now it's been over 5 years, like or maybe 6 today in 2015, that I don't talk to my dad anymore. Maybe also if he believed in me at the time of gaming, maybe I could have been successful already, like who knows. But this is how I got into making like gaming video, while realizing in school that I didn't like what I was doing, and I was doing it for someone else. I decided to follow my real passion for video game, and right now I'm still trying to make it, honestly, because we didn't make it. Like, we're getting bigger and all, but I will tell you, basically my end goal is not only to do like some crazy showcase video to show my skill, but actually to help more people so that other will be able to do that kind of stuff, and basically trying to bring the gaming community to a higher standard in terms of gameplay quality. This also made me realize that when I was asking for donation, it was kind of hard for people to know what it was for, because basically, what did you know about me beside, hey, this is a guy who does no damage run? Well, now you know me on a slightly more personal level, I would say, and also know my end goal. This should be a good reason for people to support me on a different level and never feel cheap because, for example, you send me a small donation, guys, it's not the amount that count, but the gesture. Of course, there's a difference between $10 and $1,000, but you understand what I mean anyway. I also want people to realize that I was always value quality over quantity. No matter how big I become, I will always stand by that statement. On that note, I hope you enjoyed my life story in a short version and I wasn't too boring. But again, I felt like it was important you guys knew me on a personal level because I have never talked about myself in any other video. Also, side note, if you stayed through the whole video and you didn't subscribe yet, well, maybe you should now. And if there's something that I forgot to mention, you want to ask me something, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And now, guys, I did say I would let my mom say a few words. It will be pretty brief. Basically, what it will be is it will be a cheer up message to anyone who is fighting cancer or knows someone who is fighting cancer at the moment. And of course, this will apply basically to any time. And this is from someone that had 3 cancer and managed to get through it. And this is in no way a magical message, but now I will let her speak and after I will resume with the intro.
Hi everyone, this is TGD's mother. After 20 years of sickness, here's what I realize. Don't let fear and doubt take over. If you fear the disease, it will spread. If you have any doubt in your mind that you won't be able to get through, you won't. You have to face it, accept it for what it is in your life. Because even of how weird this may sound, there is a meaning to all of this. The meaning won't be the same for everyone, of course. Hang on to your inner force, believe that you can heal, and you will. I'm the living proof of this, but you have to make this choice for yourself. I won't get into too much details because I could talk about it for hours. But the point of this is, if you believe in yourself, nothing is impossible. Again, this is in no way a magical message, but mainly something that I learned after all those years of sickness and that I'm happy to share with you today. Hope it will help. Take care everyone. Bye bye.
So this was my awesome mother, guys. And there's 3 things actually I want to say about that. First of all, I wouldn't be here today without her support because again I would have to probably been doing a job that I hate to support myself, and of course by doing that would have implied that I wouldn't have been able to put the time in doing these no damage run. So again, big thanks to her because she's the main reason why I'm still doing this. The second one is of course all of you guys that have been supporting me so far and that started supporting me more recently actually, and I'm pretty happy about that. And second one is don't take pity at all out of her message because she actually came out stronger from her cancer. So again, there's nothing to be sad about, even though at the time it was. Now it's not. It's a good life experience that again made her stronger than ever. And third, she told me that actually she forgot to mention it, but she was even more happy to be able to deliver that message due to the fact that the cancer were in the throat area and she almost lost her voice. So it was like an even bigger reason why she was happy to do that for me, and me that I was actually happy that she could do that for me also, you know. So that's like another reason why I did that, is I wanted people to see that even like when you get through some like rough experience or whatever, same with me with the Crohn's disease, again guys, don't take pity, I'm a strong guy and I'm gonna get through it. No damage if possible. But no, seriously, like all these things that happen to you is you decide if you make out something great out of it, or if you take pity on yourself and you feel like, I don't know, someone is punishing you, when again pretty much everything happened for a reason, and you just have sometimes to think about it, to try to make sense out of it, even though sometime again it may not always make sense at first. It might make sense later when you really think about it. So now I'm gonna get back into the gameplay, and if there's anything for the intro that popped back into my mind that I forgot to mention, I will say it. But yeah, again, the main thing is that I wanted to say thanks to my mom for supporting me all that time, and thanks to all of you guys who've been supporting me. And I hope again that will get more people doing no damage run, that will improve the gaming community and the standard in gaming, instead of doing always crappy gameplays and shit like that. We're taking the shit to the next level. And also now I'm pretty happy actually, because I have pretty good stuff in the game. But some of you now may know that it's not a live commentary anymore, because I had to take like not a break in the game because I kept going, but after I finished like the first part of the intro before I introduced my mom, like I stopped not playing again, but I stopped recording my voice so that I could add it after. So right now it's funny because I remember when I was playing this at first, I was like more on the radar, trying to focus on the commentary. So now I can actually really talk about it, and we're on the later floor and I just got guppy, so now it's gonna get pretty much ridiculous. And here I tried re-rolling the deal. Probably would have done the same thing even without checking it, because now the fact that you get guppy and here I get guppy still, I didn't remember that actually that I got that. So it's gonna be like a sure win at this point in this video, because of course I knew that I win already, but even like if it was right now, like this is an OP setup. I like the side tiers a lot. These are some of my favorite items. And how guppies work is basically every time you hit the enemy, you melt him. It's pretty damn OP. And the only thing that I think I didn't have in this run, maybe I get it like later, I think is mapping, because there's zero. I don't know where to go. I'm pretty much going with the flow at the time, I think. And there I end up in a cul-de-sac. Dead end. It's always nice also to be able to fly with Guppy. That's another thing. Too warm here. Too warm, dude. Of course, we use the flying ability to our advantage. Look at this, how many fly there is. It's so ridiculous. And I don't remember though in this run if I actually went Blue Baby. I'm pretty sure I did. Because it's true, I dropped out the... Did I drop out? I think the left hand. I think I had that. Didn't notice. I wasn't paying attention. So usually when you have that much fly, it's close to 1-hit kill. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna go chess. Cathedral, and again no mapping, so I go with the flow. That's what I always say. Well, that's what I do actually when I do a lot of no damage run. I go with the flow, because that's like another thing. You see, now I'm starting to remember something I forgot to mention, is that a lot of these no damage run, like of course they take a lot of time, take a lot of dedication, and I have to consider again quality over quantity every fucking time. But is that there's a certain amount of improvisation, and if I did say it again, I will mention it again. But the more like you get high in term of gaming level, you know, like hardest difficulty, hardest challenge, and you set yourself some challenge again, like me doing no damage and shit like that. Well, the more at some point, like some part will be kind of a certain amount of skill and luck, you know, but the amount of skill like will be slightly lower every time you get higher. That's what I mean, because then there's a certain amount of luck to like pull up, for example, crazy combo in Batman, how it will work out. Sometimes it doesn't, or how the AI will react, for example, in a game like Ninja Gaiden Vanquish, you know, all of these, it makes a difference in the end. And that's one thing. If some people like would be interested, I did like talk about Big Benedict or Seraphim, doing project with them, you know, to like improve the gaming on different game that I'm already good at, of course, because we cannot do that at necessarily recent game, because if I didn't play the game enough, it won't be a road to anything, if you catch my drift. The thing why it's a road to something, for example, Road to Master Ninja with Rester, even the Binding of Isaac episode with Rester, it's the Holy Shield series. Again, it's all to become better, and I'm actually happy about it. That's what I wanted to say. Rester is one that like always want to improve his gaming, and again, I wish there was more people that want to do that. My friend Slice of Life at the time, I inspired him to do no damage run, you know, and it's some things that I'm proud of if I initiate people doing no damage run, because when I started doing no damage run, okay, it was on YouTube in 2000, I think 7 or 2008 when I first joined YouTube, okay, and like think about it, there wasn't a lot of no damage run if you were on YouTube at that time. I know like a lot of new people weren't, but them and like there was nothing of that type, you know. So I kind of I won't say I'm the creator of this, but I will say that I initiated a movement at some point with the gameplay standard, because a lot of things that I did like was really really long ago. Again, me, I kept improving that like over time and kept going, you know. But oh, and now I have the mapping, by the way. But yeah, it's just again, and I was doing that really really long ago, but if I inspired many people doing that, I'm really happy about it. Like even if it's not that much, again, like the more people we get here, it means they talk to other people. And I've seen people tell me that, hey, my friend came to your channel to see he had a hard time in the game, and then I saw your no damage, and he came in, he didn't do it no damage, but he managed to get through. Yeah, that's what I want. It's another thing. I never said, hey, do the same thing that I'm doing. No, but a lot of time, like people find something really hard, and there you go. I show you like there's a perfect way to do it. So I hope everyone enjoyed the intro, to be honest, because it took me a lot of time to make the text for the first part and all that stuff. Again, I hope it will make an impact, and I hope we will become a bigger community in the future. But again, I will never sacrifice the quality over quantity. Peace out.